An exhausting 2-year-long battle has finally come to an end in the pages of the Dragon Ball Super manga. Ultimately at the hands of mastered Ultra Instinct Goku in an insane final battle that lasted honestly much longer than it should have, Moro was eventually crushed. So many beings had a hand in this, however, to ensure the Earth's victory when it seemed like even Beerus himself would intervene. However, a last-minute call from the Grand Priest summoning both he and Whis would ruin this chance, as they now have to answer about mirrors. Goku and the others, however, with the help of Vegeta's Spirit Fission technique, the energy of all of the Z Fighters, and even Oob, Goku created a gigantified version of himself that seemed to be made of pure ki in his Ultra Instinct form. In one last full-powered Ultra Instinct attack, Goku dove unregrettably at the Earth-fused gigantified version of Moro, and with an Ultra Instinct Dragon Fist, he finally shattered the main crystal in Moro's forehead. In the coming panels, Moro would eventually crumble with his divine energy causing a massive explosion, however much smaller than the one that would have gone off had Goku not destroyed the crystal, and this insinuates that the battle was finally at its end. With less than a week left until the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67, leaks, spoilers, and the like have started to release as usual, and that's what brings us here today. I know, and I especially know, that these past few months have seemed really grueling, I guess, with the climax of the Moro fight seeming to drag on, having us wait a whole 4 weeks for the next installment. But now that the battle is finally over, it seems like it is time to move on, with Dragon Ball Super already seeming to have a few elements introduced that could easily lead us into the next arc really seamlessly. Although at the moment we have no idea what's in store for Beerus and possibly Whis as recoil from Mirus' disappearance and ultimately his erasure, the introduction of Oob and a canon explanation for his powers and what he was able to do for Goku seems to be what a lot of the community would like to see more of in the coming months. Thanks to DBS Hype over on Twitter again, however, some draft images as well as the Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67 draft summary has been released. The very first panel shown seemed to be mostly centered around the Z Fighters, however there is a short glimpse of Oob's village as well, although the dialogue that we'd probably all like to see from there seems to be absent for the moment at least. Ultra Instinct Goku has done the impossible and saved the Earth and everybody on it, while also defeating Moro and also discovering a new power as well. If you guys want to check out all of the original tweets for yourselves with the draft images and the summary for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67, DBS Hype's Twitter as well as all of the original tweets will be linked in the description box below, so be sure to go give them a follow for always looking out for us with the latest Dragon Ball news. Be sure to have those notifications turned on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live, and if you have been enjoying all of the anime content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps with getting the content in front of more people, guys, so I just really appreciate it. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content and updates like these guys, but without further ado, once again, before we do hop into everything today, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to DBS Hype over on Twitter for always being so reliable with stuff like this. So definitely be sure to go give them a follow on Twitter. But now on to what we know about Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67 so far. So the beginning of the chapter seems to open with the Z Fighters, including Krillin, Yamcha, and Gohan, all just, going nuts and congratulating Goku on that insane display of power and finally defeating Moro once and for all. Gohan, of course, is glad that his dad is safe and alive, with Piccolo and Vegeta spectating from afar. Then there's this quick shift with the following panel showing Dende's place as well as all of the people of Yardrat celebrating also. This is when Vegeta abruptly demands Goku tell him about the source of that incredible power they just witnessed at the end of the fight. Goku, however, doesn't really seem to know too much about it either, though he does mention that it still seems that there are pretty amazing guys on Earth still after all. Of course, an answer like this certainly doesn't satisfy Vegeta, as he keeps pressing for more answers from Goku, who simply replies that they'll understand when the time comes. Now, I personally knew that Vegeta was going to do this, he always does this kind of stuff when Goku surpasses him, but what Goku did in that Moro fight at the end, that was really crazy. I would want some answers too. This is when the panels cut to none other than Oob's village, and a very interesting encounter as well as a conversation takes place. The Daikaioshin thanks Oob for his role in helping save the entire universe, to the shock of the young boy. Oob, of course, doesn't really have any idea what he's talking about and asks the funny looking guy just who is he. The Daikaioshin simply responds that he's sort of like a relative in a way. Oob innocently responds that he can't possibly be because they just don't look alike at all, having no clue who he's really talking to and their true connection in this situation. The Daikaioshin then bids farewell to him before flying off. However, he does leave a little surprise for Oob, who's left still wondering who that was and if all of this was just possibly a dream this whole time. The Daikaioshin then returns to Dende's place, where Dende gives him his utmost respect and thanks him for his duty and help. This is when the Kai reverts back to his Majin Buu form, elating Hercule, who is glad to have his old friend back and that he's safe again. Buu has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, as it seems that he has no recollection of anything that happened while he was in his Kai form, but he's glad to see Hercule as well at least. This is another sort of questionable piece of plot that's really interesting to me, because not only does it seem like Oob is on his way to more relevance, Majin Buu being able to revert back to his Kai form is very intriguing to me, and I wonder if this will be more significant in the coming arc as well. Seeing all of this take place kind of gives me the vibe that maybe Goku won't be the one, or maybe not the only one to train Oob, as I feel like Majin Buu will come into the picture at some point, with this being the setup. As the reunion carries on, Hercule offers to have a big feast to celebrate everybody's victory back at his home and invites all of the Z Fighters to join as well. This is when the scene finally moves on to Hercule's place, with everyone eating, celebrating, and just basking in this moment of peace that was fought so hard for by all of them, and hopefully it lasts. Later on after the feast, Goku teleports to New Namek to return Eska, the little Namekian boy that helped them in their journey and battle as well, and they use the Namekian Dragon Balls to revive everyone that was destroyed by Moro, who couldn't be necessarily restored by Vegeta's technique. Even the people of the distant planet Soon are brought back to life. The summary concludes with everyone and everything finally seeming back to normal. However, the dark cloud of what happened to Mirror still looms overhead, and I'm sure Goku specifically is still battling internally, coming to terms with how that situation played out. In the closing panels of Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67, or possibly even Chapter 68, we await a trip to the God Realm to see just what the Grand Priest has in store for the God of Universe 7 and his own son, for what happened to the youngest angel appointee. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end as usual. If you made it this far, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. This chapter seems to be more of a wrap-up or even an epilogue for the Moro arc, so unless the latter half is a lot more in-depth, we can probably expect to see more action in Chapter 68. Once again, a huge shout out to DBS Hype on Twitter for all of the leaks and summary, and down below in the comments, let me know what you guys think is going to happen to Beerus and Whis, and if you think Goku will train Oob or Majin Buu, or even both. Those are really the two things most interesting to me right now as we patiently await the next arc, but if you enjoyed the video and haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps out a ton, and turn those notifications on so you don't miss any updates on Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Super Chapter 67 as soon as it goes live here. But anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.